बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय राधा माधव श्री राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद शील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, Verse 13. Before getting into the verse, we will chant the auspicious invocation prayers. I will chant, please try to repeat. Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam Sukhamukat amrita dravasamyutam Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuragho rasika bhuvi bhavakaha Narayanam namaskritya Naranchaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudhirayed Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ऋषिरुवाच जुṣṭaṁ batādyākhila-sattva-rāśeḥ juṣṭaṁ batādyākhila-sattva-rāśeḥ sāṁsiddhyam akṣṇos darśanān sāṁsiddhyam akṣṇos darśanān yad-darśanaṁ janmabhir īḍya sadbhir yad-darśanaṁ janmabhir īḍya sadbhir āśāsate yogino rūḍha-yogāḥ āśāsate yogino rūḍha-yogāḥ ṛṣir juṣṭaṁ batādyākhila-sattva-rāśeḥ sāṁsiddhyam akṣṇos darśanān yad-darśanaṁ janmabhir īḍya sadbhir āśāsate yogino rūḍha-yogāḥ juṣṭaṁ batādyākhila-sattva-rāśeḥ sāṁsiddhyam akṣṇos darśanān yad-darśanaṁ janmabhir īḍya sadbhir āśāsate yogino rūḍha-yogāḥ ṛṣir buddhaṁ batādyākhila-sattva-rāśeḥ sāṁsiddhyam akṣṇos darśanān yad-darśanaṁ janmabhir īḍya sadbhir āśāsate yogino rūḍha-yogāḥ juṣṭaṁ batādyākhila-sattva-rāśeḥ sāṁsiddhyam akṣṇos darśanān yad-darśanān janmabhir īḍya sadbhir āśāsate yogino rūḍha-yogāḥ. Mataji. ऋषिरुवाच जुṣṭaṁ batādyākhila-sattva-rāśeḥ sāṁsiddhyam akṣṇos darśanān yad-darśanaṁ janmabhir īḍya sadbhir āśāsate yogino rūḍha-yogāḥ. Rishihi uvāca. The great sage said, juṣṭaṁ is attained, bata, adya, now, akhila, all, sattva, of goodness, ṛṣiḥ, who are the reservoir, sāṁsiddhyam, the complete success, akṣṇoḥ, of the two eyes, tava, of you, darśanāt, from the sight, naha, by us, yad, of whom, darśanam, sight, janmabhir, through births, īḍya, O worshipable Lord, sadbhir, gradually elevated in position, āśāsate, aspire, yoginaha, yogis, rūḍha-yogāḥ, having obtained perfection in yoga. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation, please repeat. The great sage Sardaba said, O Supreme Worshipful Lord, my power of sight is now fulfilled. Having attained the greatest perfection of the sight of you, who are the reservoir of all existence. Through many successive births of deep meditation, advanced yogis aspire to see your transcendental form. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described here as the reservoir of all goodness and all pleasure. Unless one is situated in mode of goodness, there is no real pleasure. When therefore one's body, mind and activities are situated in the service of the Lord, one is on the highest perfectional stage of goodness. Kardama Muni says, your Lordship is the reservoir of all that can be understood by the nomenclature of goodness, and by experiencing now been attained. These statements are pure devotional situation. For a devotee, the perfection of senses is to engage in the service of the Lord. The sense of sight, when engaged in seeing the beauty of the Lord, is perfected. The power to hear, when engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, is perfected. The power to taste, when one enjoys by eating prasada, is perfected. When all the senses are engaged in relationship with the personality of Godhead, one's perfection is technically called Bhakti Yoga, which entails detaching the senses from material indulgence and attaching them to the service of the Lord. When one is freed from all designated conditional life and fully engaged in the service of the Lord, one's service is called Bhakti Yoga. Kardama Muni admits that seeing the Lord personally in Bhakti Yoga is the perfection of sight. The exalted perfection of seeing the Lord is not exaggerated by Kardama Muni. He gives evidence that those who are actually elevated in yoga aspire in life after life to see this form of the personality of Godhead. He was not a fictitious yogi. Those who are actually advanced, those who are actually on the advanced path, aspire only to see the eternal form of the Lord. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagara Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangalangayate Girimitkapatamaham Sīgurum Dinatarinam Paramanandamādhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Katāñcana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismrite Pritam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Namāmitam Hare Krishna. First of all, it is very nice to be back in Mayapur. Even though for a short time, I was thinking that I am going to be away for a long time, but somehow by Mahaprabhu's mercy, I had to come back to Mayapur for 2-3 weeks. I was also thinking that I am going to miss Karthik in Mayapur. So somehow or other, everything got arranged in such a way that I am back here in Mayapur for Karthik. So when I had to come back to Mayapur, I felt so happy, finally going back. So there's no place like Mayapur. Of course, Mayapur and Vrindavan are not different from each other. But yeah, it's nice to be back here. So, happy Karthik to all of you. So in this verse, Kardama Muni, after his long austerities, he is actually able to see the Lord face to face. Kardama's austerities were so strict that it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord, by actually seeing Kardama's austerities, he shed tears. That he was so much impressed or carried away by the austerities of Kardama in order to see the Lord. And then now Kardama is actually seeing the Lord face to face. And then naturally, the natural function of seeing the Lord face to face is to offer some wonderful prayers. So we see in Bhagavatam that whenever any devotee sees the Lord face to face, then immediately he offers great prayers out of gratitude and out of joy. Because that is the perfection of being a soul. The perfection of being a soul is to actually see the Lord, to deal with the Lord, to have conversation with the Lord, to have some loving exchanges with the Lord. That is what we are meant to do. But unfortunately, we have chosen to see different forms which are not exactly the forms of the Lord. We have chosen to interact with different forms. We have chosen to be in a different medium, which is not a very good medium. We have chosen like that. So therefore, naturally, because of the very nature of the medium and its interaction, we have to be miserable. There is no other choice. There is no other choice. Here, Prabhupada says that unless one is situated in mode of goodness, there is no real pleasure. This is a very important statement which Prabhupada is making in the purport that actually everyone is looking for pleasure. We are all pleasure seekers. We are all pleasure hunters. We are all looking for pleasure. Nobody is looking for misery. If you ask anyone, my dear sir, do you want to be miserable? Is this your aim of life? Are you looking for some great amount of misery? He will say, definitely no. I am not looking for misery. I am looking for happiness. I want to be happy. I want to be always happy. I want ever increasing happiness. I want all variety of happiness. This is what we are looking for. We are looking for happiness with 3 qualities. Happiness which is always there, happiness which is ever increasing, and happiness which is full of variety. This is what we are actually looking for. But many times we don't even know that this is what we are looking for, unless we define it like this. But this is what we are looking for. We are looking for happiness which is always there, which is ever increasing, and it is full of variety. This is what we are looking for. But we have chosen to look for that happiness in a wrong medium. Why? The nature of this medium is that by nature this medium is painful. That is the nature of this medium. Body is by nature painful. Someone comes, your good friend comes, sees you after a long time. Haribol Prabhuji, how are you? He gives you one slap at the back out of great affection. Do you feel pleasure or pain? You feel pain. But he slapped you with affection. The body should know, oh, I got this slap with affection, I should feel pleasure. But the body is not feeling pleasure, it is feeling pain. Why? By nature, body can give only pain. By nature, body can give only pain. We don't think about the body like this. We think this body is reservoir of pleasure. We think like this body is actually reservoir of pleasure. I can get so much pleasure from this body. I am trying to squeeze this body. I am trying to see what is the last drop of pleasure I can get from this body. But the fact is that this body is reservoir of pain. Whatever act of pleasure we engage in actually gives us pain. The greatest pleasure in the material world is considered sex pleasure. That is the most painful thing. That is the most painful thing. That is the most painful thing. But we don't see it. Unfortunately, we don't see it. We think, oh, everything is all right. How are you, sir? I am very fine. Where you are fine? You are in pain. You are not fine. You are in pain. You are not fine. But you don't know. You are saying, how are you, sir? I am fine. So therefore, the whole problem of the material existence is that this material existence is exactly opposite of what we want. This material existence is exactly opposite of what we want. Any intelligent person can understand this. We constantly want pleasure. This material existence is constantly giving pain. We want ever increasing pleasure. This material existence is giving ever increasing pain. As we grow older and older, our pain is only increasing. It is not reducing. When I am young man, I have some pleasure. Body is good, very nice, that, this. But when I become old, when I have to think that I have to sit like this cross-legged and give 1 hour Bhagavatam class, I am already thinking, oh, how will I cross-legged sit for 1 hour? Because after 1 hour, when I get down off this place, I am going to, really having pain in my knees. So as the time increases, only pain is increasing. The pain is only increasing. The pleasure is not increasing. It's a fact. It's a fact. Finally, the most painful experience is death. It is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is like thousands of scorpions stinging together. If you are not from rural India, you may not know how scorpion sting looks like. When I was a small boy, I have been stung by scorpion few times. It is really painful. One scorpion, so painful. When it stings, more than 24 hours the pain stays. And it is like standing on fire. It's like standing on fire. One scorpion is like that. Now millions of scorpions stinging together, this is the pain of death. So only pain is increasing. Only pain is there, only pain is increasing. And then we get variety of pain. We get variety of pain. We are looking for variety of pleasure, but actually we get variety of pain. Pain in the form of, wife, husband, children, friends, family, and pain in the form of different assets which we bring together, car, that, money, everything gives pain. When I was in Dubai, I was thinking that I should buy car, I will be very happy. The moment I got car, I became very miserable because there is no place to park the car. And then you have to search every day where to park, where to park, where to park. The Goswamis are searching where is Radha and Krishna. He Radhe Vraja Devike Chalalite, He Nanda Suno Kutha, Sri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale, Kalindi Vanye Kutha, Goshanto iti Sarvato Vrajapure, Kedir Mikha Vikwalau, Vande Rupa Sanatano, Raghuyugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. So fortunate they are. They are actually searching for where is Radha, where is Krishna. We are searching for where is parking, where is parking. Such a miserable life. Such a miserable life. We don't understand. We think that we are enjoying. We think that we are enjoying. So Prabhupada in one sentence cracks this. One sentence he cracks this. Says, therefore, unless one is situated in mode of goodness, there is no real pleasure. There is no real pleasure. So first of all, it takes lifetimes to understand this. It takes lifetime to understand this. Not so easy to understand. It takes lifetime to understand this. And then when we understand, then to figure out how to get that pleasure is so difficult, because people come to spiritual path thinking that I can get pleasure, but they actually don't know what is the actual spiritual path, because in the spiritual path there are karmis, there are jnanis, there are yogis. All of them are confused. All of them are confused. The karmis are confused, the jnanis are confused, the yogis are confused. All of them are confused. The only one fellow who is not confused is a devotee, because he knows that he is in the right path. So therefore, in the preface to Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada actually says advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Very wonderful sentence. Some of these one-liners of Prabhupada, they are actually so powerful that throughout our life we can keep meditating on these one-liners. Just this one sentence, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. This we can actually keep meditating throughout our life to understand what is the depth of this particular sentence. What is the depth of this particular sentence? So therefore, here Prabhupada says, when therefore one's body, mind and activities are situated in the service of the Lord, one is in the highest perfectional stage of goodness. So that it's not that there is no hope. The difference between the Vaishnava philosophers and the Gyanis is that the Gyanis also understand that this body is full of pain. They also understand that this medium is a wrong medium. They also understand that as time goes, only pain is increasing, and they also understand the temporary nature of this medium. The Gyanis also understand, the devotees also understand, but there is a big difference between the Gyanis and devotees. What is that? The devotees know how to flip it. The devotees know how to flip it. The Gyanis don't know how to flip it. They simply are rejecting, neti, 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 neti. They see anything, they reject, neti. They see the form of the Lord, they say, neti, neti, neti. This is not, this is Maya, this is Maya. Unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. After realizing that they are not this body, they are a spirit soul, they are so unfortunate that they actually cannot appreciate the transcendental form of the Lord, which is the reservoir of pleasure. They cannot understand it. Anandamaya abhyasat, it is said in the Vedanta Sutra. They give some screwed up meaning to this Anandamaya abhyasat. They think, I am Anandamaya abhyasa. I will become Brahman. I will kill my personality. I will kill myself. I will become next to nothing. And then I will experience pleasure. They are very, very poor people. Why? A poor man is full of debt. When he becomes free of debt, he thinks, oh, this is the greatest pleasure. He thinks this is the greatest pleasure, but he doesn't understand that he is just free of debt. There is a pleasure of having wealth. There is a pleasure of having wealth. He doesn't understand that. So same way, a Mayavadi is so poor in his knowledge that he thinks absence of misery is the highest pleasure he can experience. By emerging in the Brahman, by being nothing, by being no one, by being no personality, he thinks that, oh, this is the greatest pleasure. There is no misery. Absence of misery is the greatest pleasure. But he is very poor, very poor. They have poor fund of knowledge. Klesho dikatarastesham avyakta asakta chetasam avyakta hi gati dukkham dehavadbirvapyate. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that ultimately their life is very, very miserable because the soul by nature is active. By nature he wants to serve. By nature he wants to do something. By nature he wants to experience something. So that nature of the soul can be fully utilized in Bhakti Yoga. So therefore, Rupa Goswami says, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyehi. This is true. It's true. Simply by these mundane senses, we cannot understand Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's mercy. Is impossible to understand. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyehi. Is not possible. But then he resolves the problem. Sevan Mukehi Jivadhu Swayam Yeva Spurityadaha. But when we engage the same body, when we engage the same senses, when we engage the same medium in the service of the Lord, then everything becomes very blissful. And Kardama's history is a shining example of that, because in Bhagavatam, throughout Bhagavatam we see that sex life is condemned in Bhagavatam. Hitvatma patam griham andakupam vanam gato yad darimashrayeta. You don't fall into this deep dark well of material existence. Just get out, go to the forest and then take shelter of Lord Hari. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, and he is saying that Matirda Krishne Paratas Sotova Mitopi Patye Grihabhritanam Atanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram Punapuna Charvita Charvananam. What is these fellows who are living this family life? Useless fellows. They are simply tasting the tasted, they are chewing the chewed, and they have taken the great vow to remain in the material world, and they have fallen into the deep dark well. So there is condemnation of family life throughout Bhagavatam. Rishabhadev says, Pumsa Striya Maituni Bhavametam Tayor Mito Hriday Granthi Mahuhu Atta Griha Kshetra Suta Artha Vittair Janasya Mohoyam Aham Mameti. Sridhar Swami is writing very wonderful commentary. What he is saying, that first of all, this fellow his misfortune starts when he gets attracted to the opposite sex. So that is the start of his misfortune. That a man gets attracted to woman, the woman gets attracted to man. This is where their misfortune is starting. And then he makes a very interesting sentence. What is that? He faces further disasters in the form of house, property and paraphernalia. We think these are achievements. When a man gets married to a woman, and if he is able to build a house, he thinks, oh, I achieved something. If he is able to have a nice car, he thinks, I am achieved something. If he is supposed to have a good bank balance, he thinks, I have achieved something, I am great. But actually, Sridhar Swami says he has faced further disasters. Further disasters in the form of house, paraphernalia, relatives and so many things. Why? Because he is bound more and more to this body. Hridaya Granthi, there is a knot in the heart. But Kardama's history is very, very interesting. That very sex life which actually causes the knot in the heart, the very family life which actually is condemned in Srimad Bhagavatam, is glorified in the case of Kardama, because that sex life of Kardama became the reason for the Lord Kapila Dev to appear. So that is the power of devotional service. That is the power of devotional service. Neither the karmis, nor the jnanis, nor the yogis understand this power of devotional service. That which is the greatest bondage in material existence, when applied in devotional service, can become the means by which one can directly experience the Lord. So that is the power of devotional service which Bhagavatam celebrates while actually speaking about Kardama and Devahuti. So therefore they are very illustrious. They are very illustrious. And Kardama's life is exemplary. Devahuti and Kardama, their life is exemplary. They actually set the ideal standard of how Grahasthas should be. And then here the beauty of the Lord's form is being spoken very, very nicely. That simply seeing the form of the Lord is the perfection of one's eyes. Simply seeing the form of the Lord is the perfection of one's eyes. This is very nicely explained by Uddhava in the 3rd canto in previous chapters. He actually says, Tataiva chanye naraloka vira ye ahave Krishna mukaravindam netrai pibanto nayana viramam parthasraputo patamapurasya. Very beautiful shloka, because whenever the battlefield of Kurukshetra is explained, people say, oh, what is this, such a big battle Krishna caused, so many people died, so many people's hands cut, legs cut, head cut, so much of blood flowing, it's a gruesome scene, it's so bad, what is your God, he is killing everybody. So many people criticize like that. But now you see how Uddhava is seeing Kurukshetra war. He says, Tataiva chanye naraloka vira. He says that Lord actually made plan to bring all the great personalities of the world in one place, which is Kurukshetra war. And then the Lord was riding the chariot of Arjuna. He was going everywhere in the battlefield. Everywhere in the battlefield, everybody could see Krishna and Arjuna riding in the chariot, and especially Krishna riding the chariot of Arjuna as Parthasarathi. Everybody could see, ye ahave Krishna mukaravindam. They actually saw the lotus face of Krishna. They saw the lotus face of Krishna riding the chariot of Arjuna. And moment they saw Krishna's face, netri pibanto nayana viramam. The moment they saw Krishna's face, they completely forgot. They are in battlefield, they are trying to kill someone, someone is trying to kill them, and they completely forgot the entire scenario. Their eyes got fixed on the lotus face of Krishna, and they just got locked, their gaze got locked on the lotus face of Krishna, and they experienced complete satisfaction of having the eyes, nayana abhiramam. They had complete satisfaction of seeing the lotus face of the Lord. Netri pibanto nayana abhiramam. At that time, Arjuna sent one arrow, swing, the arrow was coming. And then it entered into the body of that king or of that personality. And whatever little contamination, material contamination he was having, partha astra putaha. Putaha means he was completely purified of that contamination by that astra of partha which actually went into his body. Padamapurasya. Directly they went to the spiritual world, the spiritual destination. So, according to Uddhava, Kurukshetra war is a mass Vaikuntha delivery program. It is not a war field. It is a mass Vaikuntha delivery program. So, This is the power of seeing the Lord. This is the power of seeing the Lord. Recently, yesterday, one devotee came to my house. We were having some conversation, and then he was explaining that his sister-in-law came to Mayapur. She is a devotee of Lord Shiva, and she is very devoted devotee of Lord Shiva. And she came to Kolkata for some work, and she came to Mayapur. She said that anyway you are there, I also want to come to Mayapur. She came to Mayapur, and she went to the temple. And when she went to the temple, when she saw Radha Madhava Ashtasaki, she was just stunned. He was actually explaining to me that hours together she was just looking at the deity and crying. She was not even aware that she was crying. She was simply looking at the deity and crying. Later she explained to him that my friends who came with me, they all went to different places to do some shopping, see cow, this. But I couldn't just move away from Radha Madhava Ashtasaki. I was just glued there. I was just looking at them helplessly. And I realized I am crying. I don't know why I am crying. It is the power of seeing the form. The power of seeing the form. Satyavarta Muni is writing, Idante vapurnata gopala balam sadame manasya avirastam kim anyai. So, Kunti Maharani is saying, Gopyadate tvai kritagasi dama tavat yate dashashtra kalilanjana sambramaksham vaktram niniya bhayabhavanaya stitasya samam vimoheti bhirabhiyat viveti. So beautifully she explains the form of Damodar. Very, very beautifully she explains the form of Damodar. How the Lord is, with one eye he is seeing the ground because he cannot face the fury of his mother. But at the same time, he is also afraid when his mother going to hit him. So with another eye, he is seeing his mother. Vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya stitasya. There is so much fear in his face that he is afraid what my mother is going to do with me. What my mother is going to do with me? Is she going to hit me? Is she going to bind me? What she is going to do with me? There is so much of fear in his face, looking at him. Yate dashashtra kalilanjana sambramaksham. That personality to whom everyone goes with great respect. Santakaram bhujagashayana padmanabham suresham vishwadharam dakrishadusham megavarnam shubhangam lakshmi kantam kamalanayanam yogi hriddhyana gamyam vande vishnum bhava bhaya haram sarvalokaikanatam. Very nicely is explained in Vishnu Sahasranam that what great personality Vishnu is. What great personality Vishnu is. That personality to whom everyone goes with great fear. That personality, his eyes are full of tears. The mascara in his eyes is completely gone. It is smudged all over his eyes. And he is looking at with great fear with his mother. Vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya stitasya. Very beautiful picture Kunti Maharani paints about that form of the Lord Damodar, who is so dear to all of us, who actually shows that he can be conquered by love. He can be conquered by love. Simply by the love of the devotee, he can be conquered. And that pleasure is the actual pleasure of the senses. Prabhupada explains here that the perfection of eyesight is to see the Lord. The perfection of ears is to hear the glories of the Lord. The perfection of tongue is to take prasada. The perfection of every sense is simply to engage in the service of the Lord. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam krishikena krishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Prabhupada actually paraphrases that verse in the purport. That simply by engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, very, very easy, simply by chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very, very simple process. Anybody can do. Jina hina jatachilo, Hariname uddharilo. Very, very simple process. By engaging in this process, by following the 4 regulative principles, by taking prasad very nicely, we can actually experience this bliss of Krishna consciousness. The joy of devotion is so easy, that anybody can experience it. Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu, they are calling everyone. They say, hey, come. You have little faith, that's okay, that's sufficient, you come. Shraddhavana janaha, Shraddhavana jan. Then you have little faith, that's okay, you please come. You take the holy name very freely. Take the holy name. We have put a marketplace of the holy name in Nadia district. Come to this marketplace of the holy name, take the holy name and enjoy. Very freely they are giving out, very nice. We have wonderful situation, especially when we travel all over the world, we see that how unfortunate people are. I went to Canada, I was there for 3 weeks. Now I have to go back to US. We can see that how unfortunate people are. They are thinking that they are enjoying, but they are suffering. They don't know what real enjoyment is. They don't know what is the pleasure in Krishna consciousness, the pleasure of devotion. They don't know. Simply they are wasting their time. So therefore, it also becomes our responsibility to distribute proper books, to preach to them, to explain to them what they are missing in their life, to make them understand or to make them accept the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, the unique mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So throughout my Canadian trip, I actually was inspired to give a series of lectures on this topic, the unique mercy of Lord Chaitanya, because I was so much away from Mayapur. I was also missing Mayapur. I was feeling miserable. Then I thought, at least let me speak about Lord Chaitanya, I will feel a little bit happy. So throughout the lecture, throughout my tour, I spoke on this topic of the unique mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So that's something wonderful. So it is our responsibility to spread it. It's our responsibility to give it to others. It's our privilege to enjoy it, but it's also our responsibility to give it to others, so that everyone can actually understand that what is the real purpose of human life and where the real happiness and joy lies in. Okay, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You have some questions, comments, corrections? We'll start with Janmashtami, Prabhu.
You quoted from the very nice class, Prabhu. Thank you. I knew you would put me in ecstasy, and it worked. You started with a quote from the preface of Nectar of Instruction: advancement in Krishna consciousness is dependent upon the attitude of the follower. And then Prabhupada launches into a whole discussion on Goswami, that's really how the advancement takes place. First we control the senses. And of course, to do that, we got to have a higher taste. But yeah, it's a very significant point that the whole process of Krishna consciousness is dependent upon that attitude. And with that comes the understanding that that's actually real happiness is available for us. Tigache.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
I always love your classes when I'm here in Mayapur. My question, I thought John Massiver was going to ask my question about that. I was going to speak about this attitude. We hear that, can you give us some insights as to what is that attitude that helps us make advancement? There's so many different elements Prabhupada talks about. Can you kind of give us a concise statement as to what is that attitude?
Yeah. So actually the problem is that in the material world, we consider ourselves to be the enjoyer. Now the conditioned soul, he has this default setting that I am the enjoyer, I am the center of everything. Everybody should actually let me enjoy. So he is only expecting enjoyment from everybody. This is the default nature of the conditioned soul. When he comes to the spiritual path, he brings the same attitude in the spiritual path. So that is the problem with the karmi, jnani and yogi. They are actually not giving up this idea that I am the enjoyer. The karmis are thinking that I want to enjoy the material world, there is a lot of piety, and through piety I will enjoy the material world. Okay. The jnanis are thinking that this material world is a useless place, I know this, but I cannot give up the enjoyment mentality, I cannot become servant. So I will kill the master, I will also kill myself. So this way he wants to kill Krishna and he wants to kill himself also. Simply because he cannot give up this idea that I am the enjoyer. Somehow or other, he can be nobody, but he cannot be the enjoyed. That is the problem with the jnani, that he rejects everything including the Lord. The yogis are also the similar way. They think that simply by getting some powers, simply by getting some siddhi to control the material nature, they can actually imitate God. They can give a God a run for his money. They think like that. So, because they cannot give up this enjoying mentality, therefore, their attempts become a failure. But when devotees come to Krishna consciousness, many times we see that devotees also cannot give up that enjoying mentality. They come to Krishna consciousness to enjoy Krishna consciousness. Of course, there is nothing wrong in enjoying Krishna consciousness, but one should learn to enjoy Krishna consciousness as the dependent enjoyer, not as the independent enjoyer. Like we hear a nice kirtan, that kirtan is meant for the pleasure of the Lord. It's not meant for my pleasure. Oh, ecstatic kirtan, I enjoyed it very much. Okay, how did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it because Krishna enjoyed it, or you enjoyed it because you like the kirtan? Oh, nice feast, I enjoyed it very much. Gulab jamun was very nice. Paneer sabji was out of the world. But did you realize that this is mercy of Krishna? Say, Annamrita Pao, Shri Radha Krishna Guna Gao, Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Nithai, Jai Nimai, Jai Nithai. Did you actually call out of love? Oh Radha Krishna, oh Nimai, oh Nithai, you gave this Anna Amrita simply for my deliverance. Or are you thinking, can I get the next gulab jamun, or can I get the next serving of paneer sabji, and if you don't get it, you become very upset? So, that's the whole point. That's the point of flipping. I was telling that devotees know how to flip. That is the point of flipping. That when you come to Krishna consciousness, you understand that your enjoyment is in being enjoyed, not in being the enjoyer. That is the attitude change which actually makes Krishna consciousness joyful. That I am not the center, Krishna is the center. I am no longer the center, Krishna is the center, Guru is the center. If I am able to do something, it is simply because of Guru and Krishna. I myself cannot do anything. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langa etegirim yatkripa tamham mande shigurum dinatarinam paramananda madhavam si chaitanyam ishwaram. Do we say it as a formality because it is a ritual to say it before giving a class? Or do we really understand that I am a dumb guy? I cannot speak Bhagavatam. Simply out of mercy of Krishna and Guru I am speaking Bhagavatam. Do we feel that sense of gratitude? That is the point. That is the attitude which we are talking about. That to give up the attitude that I am the enjoyer, I am the center, to put Krishna in the center, to put devotees in the center, to put Guru in the center, and to become an insignificant servant of the servant of Guru and Krishna. Gopi Bhartahu Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. To take that attitude of insignificance. Not artificially, but by understanding that is what I am. Not that this is an artificial position. Prabhu, I am the most fallen. Okay, when you are saying it, you are very happy because you feel very proud. I am very humble. If someone comes and says, you useless fellow, you are most fallen, then what will you do? Do you accept it? Yes, I am most fallen. Or you will say, no, I am not fallen. You are fallen. Your grandfather is fallen. Your great grandfather is fallen. Whom you are talking to? What you are going to reply to him? Are you going to acknowledge that you are fallen and try to come up, say that, okay, he is saying I am fallen, I am really fallen. This is truth. There is nothing to get upset about it. That is the attitude. That is what Prabhupada is talking about. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Trinatapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. This is not the highest achievement of the devotee. It is just the preliminary stage to chant the holy name without disturbance. This is not Bhagavad Prema. Trinatapi sunichena tarorapi sagishtuna amanina manadene kirtaniya sadahari is not Bhagavad Prema. It is simply the tool to chant the holy name properly. Bhagavad Prema is somewhere far away from there. Aslishyava padaratam pinashtuma darśanān marmahatam karotuva yada tadava vidadhatu lampato matprananatastu sayeva bhanavaparaha. Bhagavad Prema is lying there. We are still on the third shloka. We have not reached the 8th shloka. In between we have to cry 3 times. So, are we understanding that this is the basic requirement to not to be the enjoyer? when we practice Krishna consciousness. So that is the point which Prabhupada is talking about. Let's go there. Oh, the question is same. Okay, so you got your answer. Okay. Yes.
There's a really, I've said this several times at the end of Bhagavatam classes, but there's a really nice reference where Prabhupada, he gave a lecture in Ahmedabad in 72, and he covers the peace formula, then he goes into an analogy, just as the king has many servants and the responsibilities of the servants is to please the king. So similarly, as devotees, our responsibility is to please Krishna. And when Krishna is pleased, then we're pleased. So that's all about the attitude, and it's very succinct. If we can just remember that reference, it's like powerful.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Very nice class. At the beginning of your class, you mentioned pleasure and pain, and nobody wants pain. And you told you visited USA. So USA, if you go Philadelphia, one street, Kingston Street, there are so many men and women are coming to accept pain. They are taking huge drugs, and they lost their life and lost their hands and legs. And the Philadelphia, the ISKCON center is there. And I know the Rabindra Swarup Prabhu was the president of Philadelphia temple. So still the people are suffering. So Prabhupada saved the people, happy. But after departure Prabhupada, so Prabhu said that the devotee responsibility to please Krishna and save the people. So my question is, what ISKCON is doing there? What ISKCON devotee are doing there?
So I can generically answer because I never went to Philadelphia, but I am just saying generically I can answer. Okay. So what we are doing all over the world, including Mayapur, in Philadelphia, or in any other place, we are simply trying our best to tell people that please be happy. We are simply trying to tell people that please be happy, don't suffer, please be happy. There is a way to be happy. You don't have to suffer like this. You read this book, you can understand. You take this process, you can understand. You chant Hare Krishna, you can understand. And people do understand this. Like I was in Canada, I was traveling to different temples. Throughout the day, the temple is empty. Nobody comes there. So that's why when I came back and I saw so much crowd, I was feeling so happy. That throughout the day there is crowd here. So many people coming, they are accepting the mercy of the Lord. But in the evening, devotees come together, they do arati, and then they do kirtan for a long time, and so many people come and then join the kirtan. At least they are experiencing the joy of Krishna consciousness for that 1.5 to 2 hours when they are doing kirtan. And slowly they will understand that this is a process by which we can be happy. So that is what we are meant to do. Prabhupada told us to do it. Prabhupada told us to preach Krishna consciousness everywhere, to everyone, without discrimination. Not to discriminate that this person should get Krishna consciousness, not that person should get Krishna consciousness, but to distribute this treasure of Krishna consciousness without discrimination. Throughout the world, this is what we are trying to do. We see different programs. I was in the conference of North American GBC, and I went there to present hospital project, but I was also attending the conference. I was very inspired to see that they made a whole program called the 335 program. That by 2035, they want 3% of American population to be Krishna conscious. So they are making some very ambitious goal to reach out to everyone, that entire North America 3% population is it's a good goal, that 3% of North American population should become Krishna conscious by 2035, not too far, in another 10 years. So constantly we are thinking how to expand the movement, how to distribute more books, how to actually do things. So this is what we are meant to do. Simply by this meditation, simply by doing what we can do towards this meditation, if we can dedicate our life, like all of you, brahmacharis, so fired up to distribute books, to do so many things, if we can do that, I think our life will be successful. Prabhupada told Tamal Krishna Maharaj, that so many lifetimes you wasted, this one lifetime you give for Lord Chaitanya, and in the end Lord Chaitanya will come and take care whatever deficiency is there. So that is our hope, and we will continue pushing this movement, we will continue doing what we can do. There are different people who are unfortunate, but they don't understand that they are unfortunate. So we are fortunate, we should make them understand that they are unfortunate. But we should do it very nicely. We should do it very nicely. We should do it in a way which is very attractive for them. They are able to understand it, they are able to appreciate it. We should know how to present it to them, especially in the modern world where people are so distracted with so much social media, so much science, artificial intelligence, that, this. The science is actually telling people we can play God, we can be like this, quantum computing, so many different things are coming up. But they are all there simply to increase the misery of the material existence. That some or other we should match up their speed, and then we should make this program of preaching so successful. Then we will be doing something. Okay, we'll stop here. Time is already up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.